Leave DSL and 56K in the dust. Share videos and photos. Shop online and find some family fun. Faster than ever with Comcast high-speed internet. You won't believe your eyes. Call today and get service for just $19.99 a month for 3 months, plus a free self-installation kit.
We have a lot to protect in Mercer County. Our open space, our history of innovation. That's why freeholder Brian Hughes preserved thousands of acres of open space and created the Historic Preservation Commission.
As county executive, I'll keep working to bring more business here, but in a smart way, so we can protect our open space and hold down property taxes.
Democrat Brian Hughes for county executive. He'll never stop fighting for us.
It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Time to take a look at your tropical update. And we are still monitoring 2 storms, Kate and Larry. But the question is, will they be impacting the U.S.? Well, let's take a look at what we have going on here. We have Hurricane Kate out in the Atlantic and Tropical Storm Larry in the Gulf. Let's focus in on Kate. We have a strong trough across the northeast areas of the U.S. This jet stream will eventually take Kate out to sea, not making impact for us. Same goes for the Larry here across the Gulf of Mexico. Our jet stream remains to be too far north to act as a lifting mechanism. So what it's going to do is keep Larry here across the southern areas of the Baja, and our jet stream flow will stay well to our north. Therefore, heavy rain and flooding will become a big issue here across the southern areas of the Gulf of Mexico. Let's focus in on Larry because this seems to be the closest to any land right now and is a big concern. We've had evacuations right now going on across Mexico, and there's still going to be more with the threat of heavy, heavy rain over the next 24 to 48 hours. Most of the convection is out to sea, and that is the area that we could deal with the strongest of the storms, with the exception of some of those rain bands that do make their way inland. Those could bring some fairly stormy conditions for us. As far as location, it is 105 miles east-northeast of Veracruz, Mexico. It's moving southwest at 2 miles per hour, slowly inching its way closer to landfall. It is not very strong. It does have winds up to 60 miles per hour. As you take a much closer look at this, you can see there have been little waves of showers and storms that have pushed onshore, and it's within these little waves that we could be dealing with the strongest of the winds and, of course, a lot of rain. You have to remember this is a fairly mountainous area, so we are dealing with a lot of rain that is possible here. Heaviest showers now where the purple color is. These are the higher cloud tops, colder cloud tops, and that's where we have the strongest of the thunderstorms, and that's where we've seen those tropical storm force winds, mainly out to sea. So that is some good news there. Nonetheless, we are looking at that possibility of some hurricane winds that could be kicking up around Tuxpan, Mexico, and to Campeche. And along with that, tropical storm warnings are in effect for the same area. So an area that is definitely going to be dealing with a lot of rain over the next couple of days. Across the Caribbean, very, very quiet. Not much going on. You head further out to sea, well, it's easy to see what's going on. We have Kate. Look at that donut eye, very textbook-like. And as you head over the next couple of days, you'll continue to hear about Kate. Boy, it's just been all over the place. It is heading west right now at 12 miles per hour, 845 miles east-southeast of Bermuda, but look what's heading its way. This big trough, and it's going to get caught in this jet stream flow and eventually head out to sea. So not much of a worry for us here. Along the eastern Pacific, we have 2 storms to talk about. One is Hurricane Nora, which is moving to the northwest at 7 miles per hour and could kick up some surf here around the southern areas of the Baja. And the other one here, just to the southeast of Nora, is Olaf, which will continue to kick up the surf for Mexico along the coastal areas as well.
Wouldn't it be convenient if getting your weather was this easy? Now it is. Desktop Weather by the Weather Channel. Always right here on your computer with all you need for
Now 50 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look first at the Atlantic Basin. We do have an area of disturbed weather south of the Cape Verde Islands. We also have Hurricane Kate that is spinning in the central Atlantic, and we're also closely monitoring Tropical Storm Larry, which is in the Bay of Campeche. So first, take a look at Kate. You can see it's had an erratic look over the past several days here as it's worked its way through the Atlantic. Right now it's about 755 miles to the east-southeast of Bermuda. Winds at 115 miles an hour. Kate is the third major hurricane of the hurricane season. It's moving to the west-northwest at 13. Kate does have a well-defined eye, and there's a trough, though, that's working its way across parts of the U.S., and eventually this is expected to turn Kate away from the United States and keep it out to sea and push it more towards the north-northwest. Of more concern, though, is in the Caribbean, and of course we want to take you to the Bay of Campeche here, where we're looking at Tropical Storm Larry. And the problem with Larry is that it is going to cause devastating flooding to parts of Mexico. Winds of 60 miles an hour. It is stationary, and it's expected to eventually drift its way southward over the next couple of days, and that means big time trouble here for the Yucatan Peninsula. This could potentially be a disaster with the hills and the higher elevations, with flooding, of course, being of the main concern. Tropical storm warnings are in effect here along the Bay of Campeche, and also we have hurricane watches that are in effect. There is a very slim chance that Larry could develop a little bit more, but overall it is so close to land, we'll have to wait and see, but the biggest problems here will be flooding. Now with a look at Stormwatch, here's Mark.
All right, thanks a lot, Melissa. And we'll start you up by checking on our potential for thunderstorms on this Saturday. And we see that in the southwestern United States and also in central and south Florida, but storms here should be isolated. Early morning lightning data does depict the lightning hits in northwestern New Mexico, so that could wreak havoc with that balloon festival. And as we go to our water vapor loop, see two features here. One's a big trough spinning through the Great Lakes. Looks like that horseshoe there. That will bring the cool air in and bring the wet weather to the northeast. And then you see a little spin over New Mexico, and that's where we see this area of showers and morning thunder showers. Northeast, no rain yet. Boston, New York, and Philly, but it's imminent. Looks like a good day to stay inside and watch the ball games. And in Florida, for the ball game here, looks like the weather should cooperate. Just a lot of high-level clouds.
Well, there's much more ahead in the next hour on Weekend Planner.
And we'll check in with the Weather Channel Road Crew.
But next on Weekend Outlook, the science behind the beauty of fall foliage.
Now, of course, it's time for your Local on the 8s.
Wouldn't it be convenient if getting your weather was this easy? Now it is. Desktop Weather by the Weather Channel. Always right here on your computer with all you need for every kind of weather. Always on, convenient, free from weather.com.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
Tarpaulin gray, the color of the Trane XV90.
The exact color.
But this is lacking the heavy steel insulated cabinets for greater heat circulation.
Of course, Mildred, it's a blouse.
I'll tell you, not every furnace has a variable speed motor to prevent torque pulsations.
Torque pulsations?
That's making me frisky.
Must be some furnace. The Trane XV90. It's hard to stop a train. Now you can get up to $1,000 cash back on a complete Trane XLI system. Rebates on other products will vary. Offer ends soon. Call participating dealer for details.
See your yellow pages for the Trane dealer nearest you.
Psst, Paolo, acqua da benedire, corri, corri. Vai!
Paolo!
Paolo! Sono in missione!
Shoes stink? Get new Fresh Force from Kiwi. A blast from the unique dual spray freshen shoes from heel to toe. Freshness that lasts all day for any shoe. Force the freshness in with new Kiwi Fresh Force.
Winds over 100 miles per hour. Cars blown off roads. And that's just an F1 tornado. Are you prepared? Go to weather.com/SafeSide for more safety information. Lowe's, a proud sponsor of Project SafeSide.
Come on, Nate. You're gonna be late. Okay.
Get out of bed! Get out of bed! Come on, Chief! Get on your feet! everyone. It's now 50 after the hour and time for your tropical update with Mark.
Okay, 2 storms to talk about in the Atlantic and 2 in the Pacific.
Wow.
And we'll start you off with our look in the Atlantic here. And that, right in the middle of your screen there, rolling due west, is Hurricane Kate. And this was a dangerous storm here. And meanwhile, down in the extreme left side of your screen there, that's where we see our tropical storm named Larry. It pales in comparison to this one, but Larry is closer to land and is causing more problems than Kate is right now. But Kate, a dangerous storm with winds about 115 miles an hour, reported borderline Category 3 there on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And there you can see the movement. It's due west, and Bermuda is down the path of this system here. So get a little nervous there in Bermuda as we continue to watch this dangerous storm move due west. It is forecast to start to turn more northwesterly and then northerly with time and pass east the islands. But again, we have to wait for this to turn and get north of Bermuda before we can let our guard down. And as you can see, it is well organized and dangerous looking. Meanwhile, Larry just sitting and spinning. It won't come north. It's going to go anywhere. It's going to go south and drift its way down into Mexico. Winds of 60 miles an hour, but that's not the big story here. It's the rain. Hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings in effect here on the coast of Mexico. But again, the close proximity to land with the system is making for tremendous rains and widespread flooding. Tropical storm and a hurricane in the East Pacific. The hurricane is Nora, 105 mile an hour winds, forecast to move northwestward with time, and Olaf strengthening as it moves northwest, and that could threaten the west coast of Mexico. Now here's Hillary.
Okay, a little closer to home, we are looking at a few thunderstorm areas. Not severe thunderstorms, but definitely some thunderstorms. One right over here in New Mexico, spreading into parts of Chicago, and then we're looking down in Florida. Let's take a quick look at the lightning. You can see very few lightning strikes, so we're really not looking at severe weather here. But there's plenty of moisture in the air, both over New Mexico and over the northeastern United States. Closer look at New Mexico shows those rain showers making their way into the panhandle areas. Then, as we take a look a little closer, there it is. Now you can see the panhandle areas. I was ahead of myself on that one. Northeastern United States also seeing some rain showers. Luckily, though, it is lighter than heavier.
Okay, and Northeasterners, I might want to get away and relax this weekend.
They do. Spend the day on the golf course or an afternoon hiking. Coming up, we'll give you a look at some of today's best weekend getaways.
Wouldn't it be convenient if getting your weather was this easy? Now it is. Desktop Weather by the Weather Channel. Always right here on your computer with all you need for every kind of weather. Always on. Convenient, free with weather.com.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
Did you know the air in your home can be up to 5 times more polluted than air outside? That indoor pollutants like dander can aggravate allergies and trigger asthma? What can you do? Get the Filtrete Ultra Allergen Reduction Filter. It's up to 30 times better than all other 1-inch filters at capturing airborne dust, bacteria, and pollen. And it meets Health House guidelines. If you don't take care of the air in your home, who will? Filtrete filters from 3M.
You squeeze, and squeeze, but all your scissors do is freeze. Now your cut looks a mess and your hands have aches and pains. Not anymore. Introducing cordless Smart Scissors by Singer. The fast, easy, and pain-free way to cut almost anything. Smart Scissors are lightweight, fit comfortably in your right or left hand.
Expect fair skies Monday through Wednesday with temperatures in the 50s on Monday.
It's 10 minutes before the hour and time for your tropical update. And we're watching a number of storms right now, from Kate and Larry to Nora and Olaf. But first, let's check out these steering currents, which aren't going to allow these storms to have an impact on the U.S. So that's certainly good news. We have a trough in the jet stream across the eastern U.S. So as Hurricane Kate makes its way a little bit closer off to the west, it looks like once the jet stream lifts up to the north, it will take Kate along with it. Meanwhile, in the southern Gulf of Mexico, the jet stream
not impacting Larry whatsoever. So as it sits kind of stationary over the southern Gulf, it is going to bring some messy conditions across much of Mexico, resulting in heavy rainfall over the next few days. So that's what we're dealing with. Across the rest of the Atlantic, with the exception of Kate, things are fairly quiet. But of course, here we have Kate, and it's continuing to make its way off to the west. And as we take a closer look, Kate has a really well-defined eye. It has had that eye in place, and it looks like it still does. So we are dealing with a Category 3 storm right now, and it makes Kate the third major hurricane so far this season. Let's check out the coordinates, which are now 30.3 north for Kate and 54.5 west. If you're plotting at home, that puts it just about 625 miles southeast of Bermuda. Now, as we go into the next few days, it's going to make its way west, but again, as it lifts northward early in the week, it could just barely brush the far eastern edge of Canada, but again, no impact for the U.S. Meanwhile, along the southern Gulf of Mexico, we have Tropical Storm Larry, and that's putting down some pretty heavy rainfall over much of Mexico. So here, we'll really have to watch out, not only dealing with heavy rain, but also the possibility of mudslides rather. So as we take a look at the current coordinates for Larry, looks like we're at 18.7 north and 93.8 west. And as we go into later on tonight, it's going to continue to make its way closer to the coastal area. So as a result, tropical storm warnings have been in effect, and we're not really expecting it to get a chance to make it to hurricane status, but in the event that it does, hurricane watches are up along the same area. So really watch out as we get into the evening and overnight hours. Meanwhile, in the eastern Pacific, we have Hurricane Nora, and that is located just off the coast of Mexico. It's continuing to make its way on a northwesterly track at about 9 miles per hour, and the winds are at 105 miles per hour. Just to the southeast of Nora, well, we have Olaf, and that will continue to make its way right off to the west-northwest at about 10 miles per hour. And as you can see on the satellite infrared picture, that both of these storms are expected to parallel the coast of Mexico. And along with this, well, we could see heavy rainfall around Acapulco further north, and also dealing with some pretty heavy surf. So really something to keep an eye out on over the next few days. Across the lower 48, well, not much in the way of any action as we get into the evening hours. We are dealing with some wet weather in the northeast, but as far as any stormy conditions, it looks like the best chance for storms will be mainly over New Mexico and in northern Texas. So here we might be dealing with a few rumbles of thunder along with lightning. But as of now, it looks like we're mostly seeing light rain showers. As you can see, over the past 24 hours, disturbances have rolled through the Four Corners region and are now sliding eastward. So we're dealing with wet weather around Oklahoma City as well. And then the rain is continuing to come down around Maine and to parts of New York and then further south. But as far as lightning, we're not seeing much. Again, just a few lightning strikes over New Mexico and then further south once you head down into Mexico. In the northeast, we have rain, but it's staying fairly light. Unfortunately, those of you with evening plans, you will still need to take it very slow out on the roadways and just back off the accelerator just a bit. Boston dealing with the rain all evening long, and it's still coming down. Fortunately, it looks like we should be in for a much better day going into Sunday. The southeast, it's been beautiful all afternoon. High pressure dominating here, giving way to lots of sunshine. But again, a disturbance is putting down the rain across Oklahoma.
This program was brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tomorrow at 8 Eastern.